Through the generous contribution of Dr. Lewis's family, we're very fortunate to be able to share with you these timeless recordings of Dr. M. W. Lewis, a self-realized American yogi. Dr. Lewis was Paramahansa Yogananda's first American disciple and dearest personal friend. The wisdom Dr. Lewis imparts through these teachings will give you a dynamic and practical insight into the ancient science of yoga as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. This lecture's title is How God Made the Universe and was recorded in Hollywood, California on September 25, 1955.
Subject this morning, How God Made the Universe. Well, that's some subject. How God made the universe. Seems to me they pick that type of subject every time I come up here. Well, I don't mind it as long as I can do something with it. So you all be with me now as we try to understand how God made the universe. Well, what do we start with? We start with one thing, according to the scriptures and the teachings of the great ones, including our beloved Master. We start with spirit. Spirit. Unmanifested spirit. That's the first thing that we have. All things have come from the one spirit, the great ocean of spirit, the ocean of bliss. And we have that spoken of in the Gita, in the 8th discourse, the 18th line. From the unmanifested, all the manifested stream forth at the coming of day. At the coming of night, they dissolve. Even in that, called the unmanifest. And so that's where we start. But when the Spirit began to get busy and do something, so to speak, create, began to move, then we have God the Father. God the Father is not Spirit. God the Father is author of creation. Spirit is unmanifested. No motion, just bliss of eternal Spirit. And so when the Spirit moves, we have God the Father, the author of creation, as the one eternal substance from which all things have come, is one consciousness, and the power of that consciousness. His consciousness is cosmic consciousness, and the power of that consciousness is cosmic energy. And so, that is what we have in the beginning. But still it is one eternal substance, although it seems two. As the Master used to explain, the fire and the burning power. Can you separate them? No. And so God's omniscience, His great intelligence, if we can call it that, divine intelligence, and the power of that intelligence are the same. Just like in your own consciousness, you have within you cosmic consciousness. But it doesn't seem that, does it? Because it's attached to the shadow of this body. We have God's consciousness within us. And now when you look within, for instance, and you dream, you produce a world there and characters and all sorts of things. From what? From your one consciousness. And the dream which seems so real when you become attached to it, like a nightmare, when it resolves, what do you have? Your one consciousness. And so with God, as He made this universe, He made it that way. He dreamed it by the projection of the only essential element from which all things have come, light. Just like in your dream, you project that light through the films of the subconsciousness and you'll produce the dream. So God has projected the one great light from the booth of eternity through the lens as a cosmic beam, and that striking the space, screen of space, produces the light and shadow of creation. Universe upon universe. In Genesis, the first chapter, we read the first two verses as follows. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth was without form and void. Now let us stop there. Therefore, God must have created things first in idea. He created things in idea first, because it says they were without form and void. As the Master said, God created the finer forces of heaven first, the electrical and thermal, electronic laws. He created those first from his great cosmic energy. Of course, behind that was his divine intelligence. So God created those things first. Then he created matter. That is, the mental element, in idea only, through the law of relativity of thought. And so we have the finer forces of heaven first, from God's great cosmic energy, plus matter, made up of the mentally created elements, 90 odd, which you know. Everything God produced, imagine, first, in his great omniscience. He produced that first. And so we have